overturning the culture of toxic masculinity into something healthier for all of us to enjoy each other. Do stay tuned, hanging a bit for me. We'll take a quick turn, and when we come back, we will quickly run through the issues.
At Medifem, there is a lot that we do that we make our patients very, very, very comfortable. Right from the entrance, when you enter here, there's no salon that you need. Even if you have your sickness, everything vanishes. I would like to also introduce that we have antenatal class as part of our nursing education. We do about 4 modules. Inside the 4 modules, we have various topics under them. This class also is done every week. There's a link that is shared where we discuss issues about maternal health. We also talk about neonatal jaundice, pregnancy-induced hypertension. It's a whole that we want everyone to come and experience. So kindly make it a point to come and experience Medifem, and you never forget. Remember that once you are not here, we are also not existing.
Faith-based topics and religious doctrines oftentimes brews confusion, debates, defensive postures, and passionate conversations. As a people, our allegiance to a denominational doctrine and canons must not cloud our judgment to miss the real focus of being Christ and biblical centered. Do our doctrines mold and shaping our identity, or they cloud our judgment and enslave our actions? Welcome to Religious Doctrines on the Hot Seat, exclusively on Adward TV, every Sunday from 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. as our host Reginald Percival Robertson and Reverend Father Ebenezer Petustaus take you on a captivating journey through religious doctrines. This live show offers compelling analysis, expert insights, and debates on vital faith-based topics. Dive into thought-provoking discussions that challenge your perspectives and deepen your understanding of religious teachings. Religious Doctrines on the Hot Seat, reforming mentalities, challenging dogmas.
Attention Ghana, attention Black Stars. The world is calling and history is about to be made. 2026 FIFA World Cup to be hosted across Canada, Mexico, and the USA. The biggest celebration of football ever. This is your chance to be there live. Feel the roar of the crowd. Witness epic moments, goals, and cheers as a proud Ghanaian on the global stage.
Well, that's hooked forward. Here's a chase for Gian. He's 1-on-2. It is Gian. He's in the area. He scores! Ghana are back in front.
Ashton travels and tours under the leadership of Honorable Alfred Okovandapoy, MP for Ablikuma South and Chairman of the Foreign Affairs Committee, brings you the ultimate 2026 World Cup experience. Your journey includes full visa facilitation, travel insurance, match day tickets, mass transport to and from the stadium, guided city tours on non-match days, travel with the best. We don't just book trips, let's craft your World Cup story. Don't just watch from home, be part of the action. Book now, limited spots available. Call 0256 060 997 or 0256 060 998. You can also email us at astonwc26@gmail.com. Locate us at G104 Local Road, Osu. Aston Travels and Tours, your passport to the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Get ready, the trophy awaits. Wanya Yenko. This is accredited by the Ministry of Sports and Recreation.
We're justified, and it's our time.
welcome back from that break. I remain your host, Kiki. And with me in the studios today is Mr. Livingstone Scott. I keep forgetting the third name. Is it Ajiman?
Yes.
Lovely. Mr. Ajiman Livingstone Scott. Sir, we understand that you are a national service personnel in the MCE office at, help me, Ayawaso West Wogon.
Municipal Assembly.
Municipal Assembly. No, run me through it again.
So I'm a service personnel
Yes.
at the office of the Municipal Chief Executive for the Ayawaso West Municipal Assembly.
Okay, lovely. And you were telling me earlier that you were contesting for something?
Yeah, so hopefully
Yes.
I'll be contesting as a Deputy Communication Officer for the Ayawaso West Wugon constituency for the National Democratic Congress.
Oh, lovely. That's quite a great feat. We wish you all the best in this new journey. And also we have in the studios Mr. Imbia Asari. Nana Imbia Asari. Thank you so much for helping me with that. I'm going to have to do so well with your names. Nana Imbia Asari. And Nana Imbia Asari is a teaching assistant at the Department of Psychology, University of Ghana, right? See if I got that one right. At least I tried. We are not forgetting our online guests. We have online on the Zoom. We have Mr. Derek Yeboah-Boedu, who is a musician. Last week, Mr. Derek was on our show and he had amazing inputs for us. We are grateful to have him again in online today as we delve into the issues of toxic masculinity and emotional suppression. The third part, we'll find a way to weave it into the conversation. So, gentlemen, thank you so much for doing this with me. Thank you. My very first question, at what age did you ever hear an adult say to you, you're a man, you shouldn't do this, or you should do this? And how did that feel for you? Scott, take us away.
Okay, so well, I think at a very tender age, and that is the traditional narrative of who a man actually is. And even if you are a young guy, especially, or you are a child, 10 years, 11 years, and something happened, it's the right start from there. That is the early socialization stage. Your parents will tell you that, oh, this and that, you are a man. But though you are 10, 11 years, you are a man. So these are some of the things that as a young guy or as a boy, you grow up, experiencing. So personally, I've had that experience before.
Right.
Yes.
Nana Imbia, what will be your first experience with a situation like that?
Okay, I cannot readily recollect at what exact point in my life that I was told that, but definitely at a very young age. And just as Livingston said, it starts very early, and it's in psychology we call that gender role socialization. So
gender role socialization. Okay.
Yeah. So at a very young age, both boys and girls are taught that this is the way that a boy should go, and then the other way for girls. So at that small age, as a boy, you're told, don't cry. And it's even worse when you are born in a household where there are girls, a lot of girls, right?
Yeah.
So then you need to stand out as the boy, be the man of the family, because in the very traditional, typical African or Ghanaian homes,
right,
when you are the only boy, right? You see, they will say, "Oh, you succeed after your father, or do you if he dies, you take care of. God forbid, you take after him." So you need to learn a lot of these things, very early. And as we've seen in contemporary times, it's been more served as more, negative. Yes.
I wanted to ask if that mounts pressure on you as men growing up. But let's pick Derek's thoughts on this. Derek, would you want to run by us your first experience of this do we call it gender role socialization? Thank you.
Okay.
Hi, Derek.
Can you hear me? Hello.
Yes. Hi, Derek. I can hear you loud and clear. Please speak to us.
Okay.
Yes.
So my experience way back in the village, that is, I grew in a village. You understand?
Okay.
So this kind of things, it is normal in the village. You understand?
Which
That
village is this, please?
from Dungonofin.
Right.
Have you heard of Dungonofin? Okay.
Yes,
So
somewhere in the central
yeah,
region. Super.
yes. So you came to, like, you come and meet it. You know, as soon as you are born, you know nobody will teach you. But as you are growing, you get to know that these are the norms. That when you go outside there to play and their opponent beat you, you don't have to come home crying. You have to also retaliate. You understand? And even our uncles and the men in the house can even go to an extent of organizing a fight for us as boys. Me, when I was growing my home, we were all boys, so this thing was rampant. You understand? So they can organize a fight for you that, like, so that you be strong. You understand? So that one, this experience, I bathe in it. So that is, it is normal in the village. The village setting. This is normal.
They are normal in the village. We have online Miss Joanna Ohinewanyako. Joanna, you're welcome to Open Mic.
Thank you very much.
Yes, this is the first time we are seeing you. And even more interesting for me is to see that you are a lady and you're looking to speak on the issues of men. Let me say congratulations for taking this bold step for us, first and
Thank you.
foremost. And secondly, do run with us. At what point in your life have you experienced this situation of gender role socialization?
All right. So, thank you very much for the opportunity. But before I start, I would like to explain something to our audience.
Lovely.
The toxic masculinity is a harmful societal expectations placed on our young men. So mostly we grow up hearing things like, as a man, you have to be tough and all that.
Yeah.
But I quite remember last year, December, I think around the Christmas era, I was in a traffic and a little boy, the boy is around 11 years. And the boy was sad, like standing there, and I asked the guy, the little boy, what he was like, what was wrong with him. And he told me that in their house a lot is going on, like the little boy, a lot is going on and all that, but he's not able to tell the mother that what the mother is doing is affecting him psychologically and mentally.
Okay.
And I was like, what at all is going on in the house? And he said that he has sisters in the house, but I think he's a little boy among them. But whenever something happens, like they expect him to come in. He said that there was a snake, and the sisters expected him to come and kill the snake because he's a man and all that. At a very young age, yeah. So it's like later on, I was just thinking, and I was like, it's like the society has made it in such a way that the fact that you are born to be a man, like you have a lot of responsibility. And at the end of the day, if you are not able to meet the expectation the society wants you to meet, you feel bad and you end up being depressed and all that. So I think it's a very good topic for us to be discussing, for us to be promoting. Yes.
Thank you so much, Miss Nyako. I want to ask for all of us present, at what point, how did we feel being at the receiving end of such statements that, oh, you are a man, you should do this, it has to be this way because you are a man? How did that make you feel? Wait, did it render you feeling that, oh, they don't particularly respect your feelings? Did it make you lie? Because again, I've reckoned one thing with men. Oh, how are you? Oh, I'm fine. Oh, I'm fine. And that's it. But see, when he begins to unpack it for you, you reckon that it's a lot of things. How did we get to this point where I'm fine is normal, but in actual words, we are not fine? How did we get to this point, Nanambia?
Okay, so our first step by saying that yes, we needed this definition from one of our speakers that masculinity itself is good, right? It's a good thing, right? But once the issue of dominance, responsibility, leadership, yes, these things are also positive traits. But once they become too much, right, which society imposes, then it becomes a problem because think of it like an iceberg.
Okay.
With an iceberg, you have a part of it showing at the top, and then there's the rest at the bottom. Very good. Now, you are told constantly, right, that don't feel bad, don't hide your emotions, right? So one thing that now, so it's progressive, it's generational. We've been taught from
Time
years
immemorial.
ago, right? And then if we're not for technology today, for people holding mental health forums, would still be stuck. And even some of us are still stuck with that kind of mentality. And then it results in, so now the bottom part of it is that this fear and all of that men are not able to express. And you ask a man, how are you? I'm fine, I'm good, right? It doesn't disappear. Now it goes down to the bottom of that iceberg. But the interesting thing is that it resurfaces, but in a different and more dangerous form, like anger, violence. So you see men beating women up, they do this, they do that, and they think it's a man being a man. But then it stems from all of this that we are talking about, right? All this socialization that we are saying, okay, and it's not an individual that causes it. It's a broad societal problem where everybody takes part, the family. I know we are going to get to this topic, very interesting one too. Women take part, mothers, sisters, everybody is a part of it, right? And that was and even men themselves are part of it because now you go out there and then a man will be policing his fellow man on, you need to when let's say the how do I put it? You see something very enjoyable as a man, you don't have to smile. That one is human behavior. Right? You know what? It is human. Joy is human. Emotion that should be expressed.
You can't be expressive.
Freely. Exactly. So men are doing it to themselves too. Right? Fellow men are doing it to themselves. So it's something that has been progressive from time immemorial. Right, and it will take a lot. I mean, several steps are being done, several things are being done. Like this forum, for example,
right,
is one. So good up to the host and then everyone involved.
Thank you so much.
So it's a whole lot, and if we don't take care of it, it will continue to move up. So you see a lot of news. While I was coming, I was looking at something, and then you are seeing men beating up women, all in the name of culture. It's culture. It's something that we've been taught to do. So it's something that we will do. Right.
I've always wondered at what point we decided that was good for us as culture, to be beating women, to feel to be dominating like you would put it. Again, I've reckoned that, like you were saying earlier, when you suppress the emotions a little too much, what happens is that there's a leakage. It doesn't disappear.
Exactly.
There's a leakage, and then that leakage is what will stem up to be the aggression that men are putting out there. So yes, thank you so much for that education. For you, Mr. Livingston, let me just quickly ask a very personal one. I'm sure you've ever had to hide your emotions from maybe your partner or your mother or your sisters, and I'm speaking specifically women, because in collecting stories over time, one thing that cut across was that the men always said, we don't speak out because we don't want the women to use this against us. And Ms. Nyako, will come to you on that, because I'd like to hear a feminine voice on such an issue. But yes, please do tell us, how true is this? How does this work for you?
Well, I think what you just said is true, and we could have a lot of guys who could, accept that that is the reality that most men are going through. And if you could just hear what my brother said, the whole issue has to do with our upbringing and something more of a socialization, something that has been imbibed in us growing up as young men, even as young women. So for me, the social system within our traditional setting, traditional society, we need to tweak or rather configure some of the social system so that we'll be able to appreciate what masculinity is all about.
Right.
The invention of the masculinity itself did not attract the negative vibes of how men are supposed to stay silent even in the face of difficulties, problems, and all that. Masculinity itself comes with the delineation of specified rules and responsibility that are assigned to genders within a particular society. So I've experienced that before. I remember, I think during it was last 2 years when I lost my dad, and it was very painful. But we have these traditional sayings and everything that Bema and Sunni are there. So though my sisters, the society will allow my sister to cry, the society will allow my mother to cry. But as a young man, I'm not supposed to cry, simply because when I do that, it indicates my weakness or my vulnerability or something else, which I think is actually not fair.
But are men not allowed to express weakness and vulnerability at any point? Sometimes I really shudder to understand how we have even gotten to this point in the first place, because I don't think that is any different from how you would feel if a knife cuts you. I would equally feel the pain as much as you would feel the pain. So how have we gotten to the point where he can't, but it's okay for me as a lady to do that?
There's a whole lot that can, account for that. One thing that I will mention is that, it all stems from how we were raised, right? Now, the reason why a man will not be vulnerable with their emotions, especially when it comes to their relationship with the opposite sex, would be, nowadays, some men would say, I want a man that is a man. Right, I want a man that is a man, right? I don't want a man that is soft. I don't want a man that will come to me and say, "Oh, probably I lost my job. I'm crying." You don't want that, okay? And then you see, it's education, right? We are doing a lot of girl child education, but we are neglecting the boys. That's one thing, right? Of course, because there's a lot of history about women being sidelined and discriminated against, and so we've done a lot of education for them and supported them. But then the thing is that we are not supporting our men to the same level, right? So growing up, women also socialize that you are permitted to cry, you are permitted to be vulnerable, but the man is not supposed to do that because they should be the pillar, right? Even as far as finances, right? A woman can lose her job, but the man cannot lose his job. Exactly. So it all stems from how culturally we've designed ourselves, right? If let's say we go to our homes, right, for our fathers, and then let's say we say that if your son cries, instead of saying don't cry, you are a man, say, oh, what is wrong with you? Come, let's talk about it. Someone will say, we are Ghanaians, we are not Europeans, or we are not Westerners. And this thing has nothing to do with geographical location or cultural affiliation. Right? This is natural human response to anything at all. And so, and there are things that we've not adopted over time, right? There are so many things that shouldn't be gendered, right? Like reckless driving. Reckless driving is gendered. And it doesn't make sense. These little things are what adds up to things like this. Driving is gendered, right? Emotional vulnerability is gendered. A lot of things.
Even domestication at home?
Yes, it's gendered.
Everything seems gendered. Let's pick some reactions from our online guests. Derek.
Hello.
Yes, Derek. Grateful that you're still with us. Derek, we want to hear your voice on this issue. Has there been any point where you've had to fake? Do I say fake or lie about a situation just because you didn't want to lose your manliness or masculinity? Yeah. Has there ever been a point like that?
Yes. In fact, for me, as a married man, as a father, as a husband, every time, these are the things we deal with. You understand? Because you see, as we are discussing about the masculinity issue, I would also like to say that it is not all that wrong when you are being taught to be strong as a man. You understand? Because when your wife is crying, you can't be crying as well. There must be somebody there to console the entire family. I have 2 daughters. I have a wife. So assuming something is going wrong in my room, and all I say is that when you understand, then how is the lady going to react? The man will say then you understand. But the issue is that the other side has been too much. That is why it has become something that we don't have to talk about. But me, I've discussed with my wife that if she does something to me and it is painful, I'll cry. Yes. I have come to realize I have a full song that talks about what men go through. You understand? So I have been playing to her to listen to it because I can't say everything all the time. So it is cool to talk about the aspect of men don't really express their feelings and all sort of that. But you see, trust me, the man's role in the family or where you are being trained to go, it is nothing friendly. That one is also there. It is nothing as a man, as a boy, as a young guy. It is never ever going to be easy because you yourself, you need to take care of yourself, taking care of your husband and your wife as well. That thing is there. So what I would say is that we have the positive side, but let's also concentrate on the negative side. That in the village, we say that Beman ain't humans our ham, Beman and you know. You understand? Beman the park more. You understand? Or back to all this kind of things.
I was going to talk
you
about
know,
that.
sometimes if
I heard that this
we
morning.
need to explain it to understand it well. Sometimes sometimes it's okay. You understand? But it has registered in many people's minds that when you are a man and something is wrong and you are talking about that is wrong. You see, it's different from you complaining. You understand? Anytime you complain about something or you talk about something, it's not necessarily you are weak.
Thank you.
But sometimes we take it off the board and say that, you need to go on. Charlie, focus and do. But Charlie, you know that you are the head. That is what the Bible didn't say. You are the head. Whatever is coming from the top, from the sky, it come and hit the head. It is few of them that comes on the shoulders, but everything hits the head hard. You understand? So I know that, but from our lessons today, I am also advising that when we are training our children as men, sometimes the things that we are not able to express is what like it becomes a heap when we grow and we don't have any feelings for men. Okay, as young guys as we are, when somebody gets a broken heart and the person is crying as a guy, see how your friends will be mocking at you, or like you them also now. But that thing is painful. You understand? So I think we have to sit and digress on what is causing somebody to cry and what is causing somebody not to cry. You understand? It's not all the time that you have to cry, but sometimes you have to also cry. What I'm trying to say is that it is in two things.
Right.
It is good for a man to be hard. And sometimes we that are surrounding must know, or we people that if you are training a child, your boy, you must also know that this thing that has happened to my boy, it is too excessive for me to say that you are a man. Just bear it and move forward. It can't be. Me particularly, my mother, when I was trained by my mother, but my mother devised a certain thing that I learned from her, even though she was a woman.
Right.
See, anytime she herself go wrong, she will come and tell me that Kofi, me sorry. You see, mostly there are some things that we don't the scar, and it becomes an indelible mark in the mind of a man. And this thing is causing so many harms nowadays in our marital homes. And we think that, oh, now it's not about it's a sentiment of something that we didn't deal with. And it has heaped up. And now we can't talk about it because mostly, if you make a man choose hard, when he is beating a female, he doesn't feel it. Because we're training like a soldier man. And a soldier man always, their heart comes first. So please, my advice is that me, I've been there before. I've been there. I quite remember when I was young, I wanted to play football. And I was then living with my uncles. And I had an injury on my left hand. My hand twisted to my back. And fortunately, that time, my mother had traveled and come back. So I was sleeping in my mother's room, and my grandmother has come. When my grandmother visits, she stays with my mother. So the space is kind of a bit tighter for me to also be there. And one of my uncles came and like, why are you sleeping in the same room? Your grandmother is here. Your mother, why is your mother always want to harbor you? And this, and my mother was like, the person is sick. Me, I even started sleeping by myself somewhere right before any other. But my uncle was speaking as like the accident that has happened to me is not necessary, but I should focus on going somewhere because I am a man and leave the room for my grandmother and my mother because I am a man. So when it happens like that, and the person is able to go out there and fend for himself and eventually become strong, Charlie, if I marry and my wife tells me that I am going to labor and there's the labor pain somewhere, I won't believe. Because that, me feelings in them, you understand? So please, let's train our children. Let's give room for them to also sometimes express themselves. As far as we are training them to be hard to be heard in our homes, let's also understand that it's not everything that they have to imbibe. They have to sometimes also put things out there so that they will be free in their mind because we are all spirit and soul and body. Okay.
Right. Thank you so much. Two things you've mentioned that I would want us to go deeply into. But before that, I'd want us to visit our question for the day. The question for the day reads, why is it so hard for men to show their emotions? And I think we've already asked that, but would want to take the comments and reactions from our family offline, and then we can run through that. But yes, like I was saying prior, two things that Derek mentioned. He says we need to hold out space so that better education and better knowledge of how to handle the situation or the issue of toxic masculinity can be effectively addressed. That was one. And then the second one that I want to address is that of women, how women are trained to hold out space for a man. Okay, because I believe that whatever it is that we are discussing here, whatever healthy journeys we are looking to take, are not just for the men, because constantly we hear, like you were saying earlier, we hear the women saying, I need a man that cuts across this, that. But the thing is, if the man eventually gets to all of that, how does that affect you? How ready are you as a woman to, take, thank you, to accommodate all of that, what do you, in your opinion, think that women can do to bridge this gap? Because it seems like it's a war constantly. The women want what they want and the men want what they want. But we need to find a common ground because we are not islands.
Exactly.
We are not islands. We are here for you as much as you're here for us. So how can we live better? This is the question I'd want to ask. If Ms. Nyako is still online, maybe she can take this for us and then we can hear from the men what they really and truly want. In the absence of that, Mr. Livingston, maybe you want to tell us what you want us as women to do in this healing process, because we are healing. Do I say the what? We are healing the canker in society on toxic masculinity. So please let us know, from a man's perspective, what can the women do to make this a better phenomenon in our society?
Okay, so for me, as for women, I don't know what women really want. I actually don't know what women really want, but I think that it has to do with something that has to be mutual, and it all boils down to communication. And if you have that kind of relationship with your man or your husband as a wife, you have that kind of relationship with your man, and there is that effective communication, I am sure that even if your husband or your guy is going through certain distress, I don't think there would be any barrier for him to not to open up or not to confide in you that, oh, this is my situation regarding, it could be financial, it could be issues about family expectations and others. So my first thing has to do with effective communication. So if there is effective communication, I'm sure the guy would be able to open up. And two, it also depends on how the woman or the lady actually understand the concept of masculinity as we are discussing. And it is not only the guys who from the early beginnings are taught to be real men or are taught to hide their feelings just to showcase that they are men, but women as well from the very young stage are also taught that a man should be someone who would hide his feelings even in the face of difficulties, this and that, a real man. And it gets to some point that even some women actually see sexual control as as man would, sorry to say, yes, it gets to a time where women actually see sex, and it's happening in our society. So there is a challenge with the understanding of who a man is, and if we are able to deal with it, if we are able to understand, or the women are able to understand, and it all boils down to education. If we are able to educate, and a woman, you are able to understand what role, because there are general, as my brother rightly said, there are general roles, responsibility. If we are able to understand who a man really is, and there are effective communication between your man, I'm sure the man will be able to open up. So women have a responsibility, they have a role to play as far as we are able to sort of work on these societal beliefs that we have that is affecting our social responsibility as a man, which we are all discussing, that is toxic masculinity.
I believe so too. Nana Imbia, please talk to us. What shall women do for the men that they love? What shall we do?
Okay, so before I speak on this, I'd just like to say something about what I forgot to say, but one of our or I think our panelists shared with us. He mentioned something about strength, right? And
yes,
that's something that I think we needed to establish, that having healthy masculinity doesn't mean we are rating a man of strength. Okay. Yes, you need to be strong as a man, but then we need to expand the definition of masculinity just a little bit and then include all that we are saying into it. And also the issue of communication is a very good point that Livingstone raised. But then the question is that if a man, right, who has been burdened by all that we are saying, or is has toxic masculinity, right, now communication will become a problem because
you shut him up.
Exactly, they can't effectively express their emotions, so that becomes an issue, right? So then I think the main core that that this whole issue hangs around, right, is more education, just as he said,
right?
So forums just like this, because we cannot, you can't pour out of an empty cup, right? We can't expect women to do for us to understand us in a way without them knowing what all of this is about. Because I've forgotten the name of our female panelist.
Yes, her name is Miss Nyako.
Miss Nyako, exactly.
Yeah.
So having like people like Miss Nyako, women like Miss Nyako herself engage in discussions like this and educate fellow women about topics like this is a way.
Yeah.
Because if the man who has already gone through all of this is not able to communicate his emotions properly, right, no matter how much the woman would yield that, oh, let's talk, what's happening, let's talk, he will not, because you will see that no, my wife probably wants to make me weak. It's a sign of weakness. I don't want to,
Right.
so that becomes an issue,
Yeah.
right? And then a lot of research has shown that the topic is very grave, because a lot of research has shown that all this toxic masculinity that we're talking about is highly or positively correlated with negative mental health outcomes and a lot of psychological distress. So we are talking depression, we are talking anxiety, and to a large extent suicide. Because research has shown that, interestingly, women commit more suicide than men.
Right.
But the rate of attempted suicide is higher for men
Than for women.
So you see how the dynamics play. Now men attempt more suicide than women. Oh, they would talk, they would have the emotional, so they would okay, let me just kill myself. I mean, sorry, let me just do that. And then, but then for the men, I don't know, if I do this, what will society think? What would this?
Right,
That?
there's a
So
lot
there's
of
a more of a thinking. Right. So the attempt to commit suicide is there. So you see that more men attempt suicide than women.
Right. Let's pick Joanna's thoughts. Miss Joanna Nyako, kindly run us your thoughts on how, also because you are about the only woman on this platform right now speaking on toxic masculinity. What can we as women do, just like you're doing yourself? What can we do? How can we add our voices to make sure that we are not enabling the condition of toxic masculinity from festering?
All right, so before I also proceed, I would like to add something to what my brother said.
Yes.
Teaching our young men to be strong is good. It's not a bad thing. However, I believe that they should also be taught that being able to express your feelings, being able to talk about what you are feeling also makes you a man. It doesn't make you less of a man. So what I will also say about women supporting that is, as women, we've come to know that in the society, men are supposed to be strong and all that. But I will entreat all our ladies not to put too much pressure on their men. The fact that, oh, a man is supposed to do this, do that, doesn't mean as a lady you have to put pressure that, oh, in the society you expected to get money and all that. So one thing I would say to our ladies to help the gentlemen is to reduce the pressure they mostly give to the men.
The men. Definitely. I was going to, as she was talking about that, I was going to say that I was going to draw attention to this phenomenon that's happening where women feel like, oh, if I'm dating you, you need to take care of me. How did we get there?
It's a very important question.
It's crazy because like you hear someone say, he can't take care of me.
We have a long way to go as a society.
Wow, because then if you are not with him, you're not helping him. It's so difficult, and sometimes I want to understand really and truly where it's coming from, but again, sadly, not to accuse anybody, but I believe that women have a very, very, very interesting percentage of input to how the things are going the way they are going. I'm sorry, they'll come for me, but my dear ladies, we have to be honest. We are part of it. And we need to do better with our men. So let's hold out space for them. Let's know how to handle them when they are not speaking up. Truly, let's educate ourselves too on how to, engage our men. And out of that, we'll have beautiful relationships. We'll have better structured societies. Because right now, people are broken, and you wonder where it's all coming from. It's from the home. It's from the home. So, and the home, not just the physical home, the home here too. So if we can address some of this and educate ourselves, like you were saying earlier, it would be a super world for all of us to live in. I'd quickly want us to open the phone lines, and then we can hear from our people online. So kindly join us via our phone lines. Do call the number 055 155 2244, 055 155 2214, or 055 155 2211. Again, 055 155 2211. And across all our social media platforms at Adwa TV Ghana, you can continue to engage us on there. I'll pick a few responses from the question of the week, of the day when we posted them. Someone says that because men have been designed to keep mute and bottle their emotions, they call you weak when you show your emotions. And when you cry, you're a loser and you're not a man. Men are not supposed to show their emotions. And then this person also said that our kind of upbringing has made us that way. We are told not to be too soft as men, and we are told men are strong and brave, as though we aren't humans with emotions. When a man shows emotions, they say he's behaving like a woman. And when a man expresses displeasure, they say he's nagging like a woman. If we are allowed to be emotional from childhood, if we are giving the same emotional attention like our sisters, all the girls we grew up with, will learn to express our emotions more and even better. Beme Insu, a man doesn't cry, it's the worst thing that has happened to the boy child, and a silent child grows to become a silent man. So this is this person's stand and what they think. What are our thoughts on this quickly? And then we can wrap up. It's truth, eh?
It's a very powerful statement, honestly.
He's not lying, no. This baby is thing.
Yes.
Yeah, now
A silent boy
grows up a silent man.
It's true. It's true. Well, I think one of the things that we can do, right, to navigate these things is, again, since I'm speaking from a psychological point of view, is what we call cognitive restructuring. So basically what you are doing is that you are redefining what the person thinks of themselves, right, and what and how the person thinks of the society, right, and that eventually benefits them. So we need to let our men understand, or let us as men understand, that being emotionally vulnerable is a sign of strength. If you've watched a lot of these American movies, or if you are, your TikTok feed or Instagram feed is filled with, a lot of this European, you hear things like therapy, or men saying, oh, I journal, or I do things like that. These things are not very, normal or common in our Ghanaian societies, right? If you tell a man that, oh, I'm someone who likes to journal, or I go for therapy, they'll probably laugh at
They'll
you.
look at you some way.
But it's something that we must
Yes.
normalize, right? Men going for therapy, because it's something that they've grown up with, right? It's something that has been progressive, and you can't use a day to change it. So encouraging therapy for men is a good way of making the silent man a man who can now speak up and be more vulnerable with their emotions. Journaling is one way of doing it as well. And through that therapy, we can reconstruct and redefine what masculinity is for a man in the Ghanaian context, and not only in our context, but generally, right? So I think these are some of the ways. Yeah.
I want us to pick one quick comments that someone passed, and I want us to talk about it real quickly. This person says, well, Stephanos Stevenson says, most ladies are confused. They are looking for fathers in the search of relationships. They are just looking for what they didn't get from their parents in their man.
Okay, that's a very heavy statement.
It's very heavy and packed. Derek.
Hello.
Hi, Derek.
Yeah.
What do we have to say? Someone says that most ladies are confused and are looking for fathers in their relationships.
Yeah. You see, from my previous admission, I said that it is a duty of a man to take hold of the family.
Okay.
You understand? So whatever it takes, it being a courtship, being whatever, so it is. As a man, there's a role for you to play. That one, there's no two ways about that. But before then, let me also say that who is causing the man to be disturbed?
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
The issue is that in the course of the day, our children spend more time with our mothers than the fathers. So if there is any change to cause, who should cause that change? It is the upbringing, the changing. Our mothers should understand how to train a boy to become a man. And mostly, when they are training their female girls, the girls to how to cook, how to do things, stuff in the house, the boys are playing football out there.
Yes.
You get it?
Yeah.
So the onus lies on our mothers as to how to train a boy to become a man. It's not the man. The father has his role to play. The father goes out there because as a woman to execute your duty, you may need money. That's why women like money. That's the side of it. But if you want to execute his duties,
I want to find out
they
what's
need
going on there.
money to execute their duties. You understand? So I am entreating our mothers that as they are taking their time to train our sisters, they should have equally time for the boys also to be trained. Because me, all the time I give glory to my mother because as I'm sitting here, I am married, I know how to prepare my food. I have a little background on counseling. I have a certificate, Ghana counseling, whatever. I have background like that. One thing I have realized is that me, I have married to a Ghana, which I am a full denture, Ashanti. My best food I like is fufu, no matter what you do. But you see, in this case, I am married to 100% Ghana. I can't go and force the Ghana who has been trained how to drive bamboo all her life to come and prepare the fufu that I want. I must know a bit of how to prepare fufu. I must know it. The food me I like best. So all the time I talk when I'm talking to my boys, those who are ready to marry, I tell them that see, and some of the power the best food that you like, learn how to prepare it before you enter.
Okay.
They have to prepare. You understand? So our mothers should pay more attention to the boys because all the time I've been telling my wife that for a child to grow and become responsible, it's not an automatic move. It is a deliberate attempt that we do.
Yeah.
Because when we are, everybody is empty. Everybody is empty when you are born. Our environment structure has to become who we are.
That's
So
very
take
true.
somebody from China and let the person go and stay at East Legon. The person will start behaving as East Legon people. That is why when we travel abroad, we are able to do things that these people do. But when we come here, we start throwing things anyhow on the street. You understand? Because it is our trait. So we have to pay attention to our boy child and make a deliberate attempt to make that manness come in them when we grow. Because to me, it's automatic.
Right.
And the ladies must also learn how to live with a man. See, as men as we are easy to go, but complex to understand. That is how every man is. Very easy to go. Oh, and but you see, what a man is expecting a woman to do, you can never explain it. No man has ever explained the feelings he is having for a lady. It's a lie. If you are a man and you are able to do that, it's a lie. So, yes, because the things is small things. Everyone can get any move to them.
Right.
How you carry yourself. So my last thing that I will say is that our parents, our mothers, the boy child spend more time with you. So make time for the boy and treat them equally as our sisters. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Derek. That was an insightful input. We want to hear from Joanna quickly. Joanna. Hello, Joanna. Okay, I think we've lost Joanna. Oh, great, super. You're here. We wanted to hear your take on this very last round that we just took. Yes, we had a question, or more like a reaction online, where someone said that women do not know what they want and they seem to be looking for fathers in a relationship. Basically, looking for someone that's going to fill the voids that their parents created for them. What's your take on this? Okay, I think we lost Joanna for a bit. I want to take quickly what our last words on this issue are, and then we can wrap up quickly. So, Scott, please.
Okay, so well, it has been a very insightful discussion that we've had, and what my last words would be. So first of all, we need to actually understand what this concept is, and it's not just about you are a man and you are supposed to man up, or the societal perception of who a real man is.
Yeah.
But there is so much public education that has to go into how we understand who a real man is, and also these issues of social gender role responsibility. We really need to delve much into it. I don't think we had ample time, but yes, and I'm hopeful that at another time we will try and expatiate on most of the very vital information that we need to share with the public. So it's very important that as a society we try and understand each gender's role, and so that we don't normally perceive someone or a particular gender of this particular thing, that it is this particular gender who is supposed to do this, it is this particular gender who is supposed to do this. And the last comment that one of our viewers sent, most of the boyfriends out there perform responsibility than most of the fathers, and I don't know why it happens that way. The kind of burden that a boyfriend has is
Scott,
more
let
than.
me hold you on for a brief moment. We have a caller on the line. We want to speak with her. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, good afternoon. Your name and where you're calling from?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm Judith.
Hi, Judith.
Please let's say something, but I don't know whether it's a suggestion or enforcement.
Don't worry. This is open mic. We're strengthening
Yes,
it.
so one of our online guests made mention of something that is the duty of a woman or a mother to train the kids.
Okay.
But then I want to make him understand that modern Ghana today, or like the third century, it's not only the duty of women to show children.
Okay.
So, in as much as we're having this discussion about men, I feel it's about time our fathers also take it upon themselves and then train their male staff or male children about those challenges. So that they wouldn't do themselves. Thank you.
Thank you too. There was, just to add to what she just said, there was one lady on TikTok that I encountered. I don't even remember if I followed her or not, but she made a very profound statement. She said that for her input on the issue of toxic masculinity is going to start from her home, of course. So she's taught her male children what it means to. She was driving it towards a certain end, actually. She's taught them what it means to use a condom, what it means to, make decisions for themselves. And she was driving it towards the point where, back in the days, it was very easy for us to encounter a girl staying at home because she's pregnant.
Yeah.
And that's the end of it for her. The boys will go back to school. So it was a phenomenon where men felt like, okay, yeah, I've arrived. I will go to school. You will not. And society is going to bash you for that. But we forget that it's a two-way street. Because we are pouring onto them negatively, and I'm saying women pouring onto men negatively, and men also pouring onto women negatively, it has literally become a war. We are screaming femininity, y'all are also screaming toxic masculinity, and how best we can bridge it. But again, if the constructs from home, if the systems from home are questioned, what the lady said is, if you get a woman pregnant, you and her both will stay home. You and her both will find a job. You and her both will take care of the child, because that is your responsibility. That way you don't go about feeling like, I should operate in a certain space because society allows me to. The question is, if it were you, would you want that to be done to you? So I think that before we engage with people or take a stand, especially in this gender war that is going on, would really want to understand, like you were saying, what phenomenon it is that we are in. Did we finish with your last bit?
So as I was saying, beyond the discussion of toxic masculinity and its associated and emotional challenges, we must also be able to opine on the way forward. And we've delved much into it. We spoke about education, and there is the need for the involvement of traditional institutions to come in. And I believe the government also has its share of responsibility in actually trying to tweak our social system in understanding how we approach and how we understand the narrative of masculinity. And aside that too, my brother also spoke about the therapy. In a Ghanaian typical society, when a guy says, he's going for a therapy because he's going through emotional stress, even our own, the men would rather mock us. Yes, guy, we were border man. I said, so, and as a guy too, you must also be able to open up. Not open up directly, but sometimes it could be indirect. I'm playing with my guy. Maybe we are playing some video game. I can say, my guy, I did go through some stress, this and that. And if my friend is sharp enough, after the video, my friend can sit me down. We will judge, we will discuss. What are you going through? So sometimes we can open up to some of the friends that we have, not in a direct way, but in an indirect way. They would understand what we are actually going through, and they will say, then let's have a discussion. Probably they could have a solution for us. But when we harbor the stress, the distress, everything that we are going through, these things, just a trigger can blow the lid out of the cup, on top of the cup, sorry. So please, a guy, we should be ready to open up for everything. And my dear ladies, please, we are not fathers in disguise. The pressure keeps on coming. The pressure keeps on coming. So please, I would plead with them that they try to, reduce the pressure. Yes. So I think that would be my last words.
Thank you so much. So, Nana Mbia, let's run this quickly. 30 seconds. Final words. What do you want to say to them?
So, what I wanted to say initially has already been addressed by our caller.
Lovely.
And what she said about a woman being the only one raising the child, because it's a family, it's a home, so everybody must get involved. So my final words are going to be just quite the same as what Livingston said about emotional openness, right? We need to be open about our emotions. Men need to talk more. They need to speak to people that they trust. And women also have a role to play. Generally, society has a role to play. The family has a role to play. Religious institutions have a role to play. The government has a role to play. So if we are going to move forward, it's not going to be, something that is immediate. It's going to be progressive, right? It will take a long time before we get there, right? But then we surely will. As for the father issue, I believe that is purely psychological, because the absence of a father can bring a whole lot. And so that may be why some women are looking for fathers in their and some of them too, probably
some they have,
out of pure greed, maybe.
Yeah.
But it runs both ways. And as a gender was, we need respect for each other
Yeah.
as males and females. We just need to respect each other. There should be equity, there should be respect, there should be, that I see you see me, and then we can have a balance.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Nana Imbia. Mr. Scott, we want to run away, but we also want to give you like 40 seconds about your position that you're vying for. Talk to us. What can we do? How can we support you? What do you need us to do?
Okay. So first of all, I want to give a big shout out to my bosses, Honorable Dr. Michael Mason, the Municipal Chief Executive, and also my wonderful MP, Honorable John Seto Dumelo, is very hardworking MP as well, and also to my dear constituents. And the party is actually embarking on a reorganization process, and very soon we'll be starting with our branch elections. We've gone on several tours. We've explained our ideas and some of the things that we wish we could bring on board to drive the party. We've spoken to them. We are still on it. So I would urge my constituent listening and viewing this program to stay put to the message that I put across, and at the appropriate time I would visit them again so that we all drive the constituency ahead.
Lovely. And if you have been following the show till this point, we've been discussing toxic masculinity and emotional suppression. We've also, in discussion, raised issues or concerns where women have, enabled the phenomenon of toxic masculinity and how much it's affecting us in our society. We've had very great, insightful conversations. For me, I've learned a lot. A lot has been addressed, and I hope and pray that for all of us out there, we do remember that we have a responsibility to play towards averting the effects of toxic masculinity and emotional suppression. There is mutual responsibility. There is supposed to be mutual healing, and out of that, we can coexist lovely in our societies. And so thank you very much for staying in with us. This has been Open Mic, and I am still Kiki. Stay with us. We'll see you again next week, same time, same place. It's bye for now.